So hot.
So hot. I want to touch the hiney.
So shiny.
So hot.
Shiny hiney.
Ooh. Jinx.
What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 198 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey guys, I'm Nate.
And I'm Scott. Both Nate and I were waiting for Larry, who's not here today.
I'm never ready when he's not here.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting for that extra pause between Jeremy and me.
Yeah, so shout out to Larry. Larry, hope you feel better. I said, my friend. I said, if you're hanging out, hope you feel better. Hopefully, it is just allergies and not the coof.
Yes, not the COVID.
Yeah, or the flu rona, which is like what the new thing is, right?
Man,
yeah, so
if you get both, if you get the flu and COVID at the same time, you got the flu rona.
Yeah, you get the flu rona. So
I feel like in our stream, I'm coming across nice and crystal, but now I'm looking at our YouTube feed and I don't look that great.
Oh no,
Nate, you always look great, so don't worry about that.
Well, Jeremy,
well here,
that's too kind.
Let's
but I my thing is like potato, not potato, not potato.
Let's leave it up here. So Ed, I see that you're here. If you go through here,
fearless supporter Ed,
tell us, does Nate look like a potato? Not in general, because we know the answer to that one.
Look at the YouTube.
Just
video.
Currently on the.
Ed, rate my potato rating.
Yeah.
Are we like 5 potatoes, or are we like 1 potato?
Yeah, I said on StreamYard, you're like a 2 potato.
Yeah, potato, but it's not. It's not that bad.
Signal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, well, it's all good.
Well, it's all right. We can hear you good. This week. It's fine.
But here, real quick, even though it's Larry that's out sick,
I'm gonna go through here. I'm out here because first off, I wanted to see how these came across in the stream right at the bottom, but Ed has brought up that he's saying 3 potato.
3 potatoes.
So.
Damn. All right. Well,
he's going 3, which I don't think we established out of scale, but I'm gonna say no matter what, 3 potatoes probably isn't very good.
No,
but yeah, all right, give me a second.
Potato rating.
I gotta find where it is here. Here we go. All right.
Here we go.
Even though it's not me this time, for Jeremy, for you, let's play the song.
Yeah.
STS Podcast, guys. STS Podcast, guys. STS Podcast, guys. Jeremy, Leo, Larry, and Nate. Scott's out sick. Jeremy, Leo, Larry, and Nate. Scott's out sick. Jeremy, Leo, Larry, and Nate. Scott's out sick. STS Podcast. STS Podcast. Guys, STS Podcast. Guys, STS Podcast. Guys.
Can I tell you, I do very much appreciate the escalation at the end.
Yeah. Guys.
The fact that he uses no other instruments except for his mouth is pretty impressive.
I also was. I am. Well, I said with my. I said once I have that upcoming hospital stay, right? I'm recreating that picture.
Yes.
I'm gonna recreate that picture.
Oh, and let's see. Ed said he's got a bingo square, and that is a bingo square.
Wait, just
bingo square.
Give me a goddamn second. Bingo!
Hey, it's been a couple weeks. It's been a week.
It's been a few weeks.
And the problem is, again, they changed the layout. It used to be these nice little tiles and buttons I could click. Now it's just a list. And we have a number of bumpers.
Yes.
So to find the ones I need, I have to scroll up and down through a list. It doesn't always. I don't have them up already. Jeremy, I need that old deck thing that I could try to program these to see if I can program them to specific buttons.
There's a certain work item for that, so that's a work need item.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
I like that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to play along with bingo, you can go to podcastbingo.com/STS Guys, and you'll have your own bingo squares, and you might have already reached a few of them.
Just to add one, because it's been a little bit, it's going to be weird, so you guys are going to hear this one. First time I've had a bottle like this, but close enough. It's not a pop on this one. It's got a twist off, but
okay.
Hey, it still counts. It still counts.
I guess apparently when you get the Japanese stuff, they don't put the cork in it. It's a twist off cap.
Oh, you know we're 6 minutes in, and I haven't said it's been a few weeks.
It's been a week.
It has been a couple weeks.
It's been.
Was it like mid? I don't know.
Basically, we decided, you know what? Let's just not do it in December. Really, it's kind of what the direction went.
It's because we had the one and New Year's fell on both Saturdays, right? So
exactly. There was no way
on a Saturday and New Year's fell on a Saturday. So
the last one was December 18th. So we did do one, a few weeks ago. I think we had all seen Spider-Man, or at least a few of us. Maybe I did, and I think
everybody had. But
we were talking about on the episode. I
hadn't yet.
You had, that's right.
Yeah. You guys, I don't think you guys both had not seen it yet. So we were gonna say maybe next episode, which is now this episode. Maybe we talk about Spider-Man a little bit.
We're definitely gonna have to talk Spider-Man. It's been long enough.
Before we get into Spider-Man, though, we have to do It's Been a Week stories.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any crazy New Year's or Christmas?
So
it's been a month stories.
So it's been a month here. I don't have anything I didn't really buy anything that huge. I got some headphones, right? Just regular things. I didn't get anything cool for Christmas. I'm too old for that. I basically put all my money into my daughter, right? Just to get her cool stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm basically giving her the thing of you're getting all the cool shit for Christmas because I want to be the cool dad. Doesn't work. Not the cool dad, but I have a weird statistic of things that I don't know. From the last podcast that we've done till now, there has been 3 items that have strangely been caught on fire around my house. 2 of which are houses that were struck by lightning, both within a quarter mile of my house. To the point where one of them I can see out the window, the back window of my house. If I stand on my second story, I can look out and see the burned down house now in my neighborhood. And this morning, go to get my coffee, happy little thing, drive over, crest a little hill, legitimately a truck on fire in the middle of the road. I don't even know what happened. Didn't even look like it hit anything. Just car on fire. I don't know what it is about the holidays or whatever that have attracted fire emergencies to me, but apparently I am not a good luck charm for that.
So if you want to keep your house if you want to keep your house on not fire, don't hang out with Scott.
Yeah, basically. I literally have considered
the apocalypse is starting in your neighborhood, says that.
It is. I've actually looked into the cost and will probably be purchasing a lightning rod to attach to my house just because, right? It's happened twice within a short vicinity. It's at the point where I think I might need to mitigate the problem just a little bit.
That's
interesting.
Here, I might as well just get a bingo square out of the way. Bought a hot toy.
Wait, Jeremy got a hot toy.
Ooh, I just suddenly got really hot.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This time I said I came back. I was on a wait list for this guy with the old Mark 45, actually from Spider-Man Homecoming. So it's the two-tone, the silver and the red suit. So came with a whole bunch of cool accessories, like little drone, little things that he used like to save the ship, and a whole bunch of like different effects. So yeah, super heavy too, because he's a good chunk of his die cast. So, but yeah, so the old Mark 85, and then it's cool. I don't have that head sculpt on there right now, but it actually comes with the a Tony Stark head sculpt, but then also comes with the empty helmet. So you can actually you can open up the helmet, and it's like the empty
the remote pilot thing.
Was that
version.
from that was Homecoming?
Yes.
So he uses it in
Spider-Man
Homecoming.
Okay.
The empty helmet one is from Iron Man 3.
No, it's from Homecoming.
I thought it was Homecoming. Yeah, because there's
Homecoming,
that part where
because he remote pilots this, and he's talking
Spider-Man's
to
like, you didn't have to come all the way out of here. He's like, oh, I'm not not really there.
Oh, he does it
pops
now,
his
because I
helmet.
remember at one point he says it, and then he opens up and he actually steps out. So for whatever reason, that's the scene that sticks in my head.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
this is when he was like flying around. He was flying around. He's like, "Oh no, you didn't have to come here." And then the helmet flips up, and it's literally just the suit flying.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm not really there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
But yeah, that's cool, man. That's really hot.
it's so hot. But you know, it's the collection is growing. So yeah, I also have to give a shout out to Scott. I said, because I actually just picked up. The funny thing is, right? I said, Nate, I gifted my Detolfs to you, and Scott just gifted his Detolfs to me. So
It's a circle.
It's
a
a
circle.
circle.
it's
I have nowhere to
Circle
put
of
them.
Detolfs.
I had nowhere to place it, and I was afraid it was going to get broken if I just put it out in like the garage or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I know somebody's been buying himself a lot of little statues. Hey, do you want this? He's like, yep. So plopped it in the truck and drove it over.
and I had the perfect spot for it. So hot.
Sweet. You're gonna have like one hell of a display up there. You got your arcades, you got your comics, your pops, your hot toys. You got it all, man.
It's pretty much heaven. Like I said, up in this second layer. Like,
it's kind of the home that 16-year-old us always wanted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like each of us at 16 was like, this is, if I could pick a room, this is what it would be. And like, yeah, made it happen.
That's it.
No, so it's good. Like it's crazy. Like, well, I started collecting hot toys, like I said, less than a year ago, and now I have like over 20 of them. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, you move fast on that.
I did move fast. Oh, I did get another hot toy. I did get another 6-scale figure. It's not technically a hot toy. I got the Gambit figure in too.
Oh yeah,
sweet.
Scott
I saw it the other day. That thing is.
Wait, it's a sideshow or a hot toy?
Sideshow.
Gambit?
Yeah, this is sideshow.
Nice.
The sideshow Gambit. Yeah, it's got the translucent pink like energy. Like I said, card. I said where he's like it's going through his hand.
What I like too is that his fingers are translucent, and then it slowly merges back to normal by about like mid hand. So he's holding the card. It's like it has an effect that it's like charging into the card. They did a really good job with it, with the way that they did the energy on the cards and all the stuff.
It's pretty awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, the effects are sometimes like the best part of some of those figures. Just how they get their powers and using those for shots. That's one thing I love about figures is just whatever accessories or effects that they come with. So I can imagine Gambits are awesome.
Gambits are pretty cool. Like it.
Only you could figure out a way to put like an LED in there. Not a bright one, just one to make a gentle glow into it. Mm-hmm. I think would be awesome. Like the little LEDs that you put in like wine bottles to make like the little wine, like one of those. Yeah. If you could figure out a way to get it under that.
If it was a hot toy, it would most definitely have an LED in it. Like so, for example, like the I have the Mark 85 Iron Man that has the nano gauntlet on it. So that has an LED in the hand, which is basically the nano gauntlet actually lights up.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that works.
That's
So yeah, that's Jeremy picking up the hot toy. I would have said if it's been a month, I guarantee Jeremy got one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's been that long and Christmas went by, he probably got one.
But then again, too, Nate, I'm kind of banking on the fact that you probably also got a Mezco.
I didn't get a Mezco actually in that long period of time. I don't think I got one. Yeah, I showed you the one that I did get before that. That came quite a bit before Christmas. But what I did get an action figure.
Action figure.
One of my good friends on Instagram, his name's
John Cena
Sir
action
Action figure. His name's Sir Chappie 13. He's a good friend of mine, Cody. There's this line of figures that I've been interested in for years and just never pulled the trigger on it. But he sent me some figures actually from the line, and I told Jeremy and Scott this, but this figure is basically like death metal in a figure.
Yeah, the thing's badass.
He looks really, really cool. He's just got really, the sculpting's amazing too. He's got these awesome horns. He's got the flames. He's got the flame sword. He's got these wings that expand out. He's just really freaking cool, man.
It is super, super badass. And I told you, like I said, we were talking before, and you need, when you finally get that Constantine in, or if you can find a Doctor Strange, you need to have one of those two in a shot with the demon.
So Nate, I said I saw another figure the other day. I said that you need to pick up. Well, one for two different reasons. One, it looks pretty cool, and then two, the TV show is coming out pretty soon. Have you pre-ordered or gotten the 1,000 Toys Master Chief yet?
No, the new one. Yeah, it looks pretty great.
Yeah, because I said when the TV show comes out, like you need to do some awesome recreation shots for the TV show.
Yeah,
because the new TV show is coming out on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that new Master Chief's pretty amazing, and I've been a huge fan of the game, so I need to pick that up because 1,000 Toys does some great stuff. So that's going to be a top quality Chief.
Yeah,
and he comes with the energy sword. There's like two different versions, so I don't know if you played through the main game, the new game. There's like a new energy sword now. It's called like a blood sword. There's like this Master Elite that has like two blood swords that you fight. So there's a version of Master Chief that comes with the red version, and then there's a version that comes with the classic blue version. So
can we talk about that just real quick?
Yeah.
That campaign was so short.
Yeah,
like, it was incredibly short.
Because you look at the map and you're like, oh, it looks like the map is going to be big, but half of it you can't go to.
Yeah.
Like there's a large portion of it, like, oh, why do you let me scroll that way if I'm not going to go there ever? Right.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, that's true.
So I really think it was the campaign was trying something new to see if the open world format fits. Right. Because the first time, and it works. It actually, I didn't know how it was going to work in a Halo format, but it works. Right. Having but take Far Cry, Halo. Right? Like, that's what they did. But I really think that it was the driving factor was, and has always been with Halo, after, I'd say post 2, was always the multiplayer, right? Yeah. Like, that was, like, you played the story just to go through it. It's a good story. Like, I'll tell you.
I think that's why I'm kind of complaining about it just lately. Just feel like it was a good story. Like,
they've dropped it though, because what is it?
I thought one thing that was
the Mike Coulter one the story wasn't that good.
Well, that game, Halo 5 sucked anyway. Like, all around sucked.
Guardians, yeah. But
it was bad.
It's driving the multiplayer.
Well, and the multiplayer, luckily, in Infinite is just fantastic. It's just really good. I was actually, to Ed's point, he just stated it. I was playing it right before our stream. I'm addicted to it, man. It's just so much fun. So, yeah, I mean, the campaign was cool. I really liked the open world aspect. I thought it was a brand new thing for Halo. And it made it feel different and, a little bit more open world. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, I had a good time.
Like I said, you say it isn't perfect, but it works. for the thing. And I think this was the test to see, does this work in this way? And so we'll probably see a much bigger, more fleshed out world in future Halos.
Yeah,
right.
Which is
in
I'm not even
that
complaining about
format.
the world. I'm just complaining that the campaign was incredibly short. Like
it is. No, I don't disagree with you. I wish it was
short.
a bit longer.
And again, it's. I guarantee it's going to that. Or here's the other thing that I'm really worried about. And this is my honest thing is what they gave us was about one step away from being like a games as a service like Halo, or I mean like Destiny. So I really think this was touching the waters. I don't want it to be this, but there is a very good chance that the next one is going to be this episodic MMO like style version like Destiny versus a traditional Halo. It could go either way, right? Could go back to like we're going to stick with the open world format. You have the map, you clear the outposts, you expand your influence. Like I said, Far Cry style, which is what this one was.
Yeah.
But it could go closer to like, oh, we're going to have raids. We're going to have all these things that are more Destiny based. And you're going to have leveling based on that, like in that thing. And I will immediately jump ship if they do that.
Yeah. I hope they don't go that crazy with it. Like, I think this is a good enough like push for the game. Now let's just expand this world out a bit more, but don't make it crazy MMO style. Yeah. Either way, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do like it.
So, and by the way, next month you will not be probably seeing my fat ass all that much because Dying Light 2 and Forbidden West, the Horizon Zero Dawn
Forbidden
sequel,
West, I am just all over.
Oh yeah,
both of those are coming out in February, and you will not see my fat ass very much. Oh, we lost Jeremy.
Oh no. Well, now we won't be seeing Jeremy very much.
And he's back.
And he's back.
So weird.
I'm gonna put Jeremy back up in the top corner there.
Forbidden West, like I literally been chomping at the bit for a PS5 title to come out that I want to play.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, my PS5 is just sat idle. Like I said for a little while, just because I haven't had any. I said like PS5 specific games that I want to play. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I had an amazing time playing like Demon Souls and stuff like that. But
they're not.
I'm waiting
they're not.
for.
And even this is going to be PS4, PS5, right? But still, it's going to have the upscaling in the PS5. I'm excited to play it. I've seen some of the new enemy types. Like I've been watching tons of the videos on it. There's the snake that can go underground, but also like break your cover. So if you're hiding behind shit, it'll knock it over. Like it looks like it's going to be amazing, right? But I love the first one. I replayed it recently. It's one of the first games that I intentionally was like, I will platinum this no matter what. And I did. But coming back to it, I'm like, oh, I never played through like a New Game Plus or whatever. So I'm going back through now, trying to collect all the trophies and get back to 100%.
Did you play the expansion, the
Frozen Wilds?
The Frozen Wilds.
Frozen Wilds was okay. So the way Frozen Wilds worked was great. Apparently, everything is going crazy in my house right now. So basically, Frozen Wilds was like, hey, by the end of the game, you're basically this killer of everything, right? In the way that the original game played, right? By the end of it, you knew the exact way to kill each and every enemy that you came across. You had everything down. You knew equipment. Like, use this type of elemental attack on this thing, and this does this, and you can, right? So the Frozen Wilds is like, all right, cool. We're going to go and make these new versions of all the enemies that you know that are resistant to elemental attacks and take more damage before they break. Oh, and we're going to make ones that can basically insta-kill you. And, like, here you go. Like, have fun. All your equipment is underleveled, even though it was, like, maxed out for the main game. It's underleveled now. Here's all this new equipment that you have to get. And play through this new version of the story of why some of the machines are going crazy, right? And it kind of fills in some of the gaps about, there's all these different AIs that were created, and they have the one main one that was controlling them all, and she gets loses all the power, so all these AIs go off rogue. So you fight a different one. In the main game, you fight the AI Hades that's bent on destroying all life. This next one is Hephaestus, the one that builds all the machines, going crazy, being like, oh, all these people have been killing our machines, so I'm going to make ones that are stronger and ones that will basically are hunter-killers of the people. So it's like that. It actually has a lore reason why they're stronger. So it's kind of cool. I really enjoy it. I love it. When it goes into the next version, the Forbidden West, you get to see that there's some of the new tribes, some of the new robots. You can't beat a game, honestly, where you basically are fighting robotic versions of modern day and modern day animals and dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, you really can't.
You're literally with a bow and arrow. No guns, nothing. You have a spear and a bow and arrow.
I like that aspect, and I also love the trapping aspect too. Like booby traps and just that
slings.
Because I would always, especially when I was ever going into specific encampments, right? I would basically sneak around, drop my traps, and then basically lead everybody or lead the creatures. Back to where I laid my traps at, and then that way I could tie them down. I can wail on them. While I bow them down and stuff like that.
Drop the explosion ones and have them run through. Basically landmine it up. Yeah.
Yep. And then string them down with a freaking rope
caster.
Rope caster. Yep.
Yeah. That was the. Once you start really getting all the equipment, that game just got so fun because you could approach,
things
different things differently, and I'm excited to see how they're going to expand upon that.
Well, they had the things where you could do it this way, or the alligators, right? Snap maws have on their necks. They have the two little canisters that if you shoot it, cover comes off, and then you can hit it with a fire arrow, and it basically blows up the neck. So you can the first couple times you face one of these things, there's no way you're pulling this off, right? You're running. This thing is going to kill you instantly. But by the end of the game, you're just 4 shots with your bow, and you take one of these things down. And so it's cool to see that progression, and I'm excited to see. Hopefully, as we move into this next one, they don't do some stupid reason to take away a lot of the skills. Like the Batman games always somehow had you lose all the stuff from the prior game before you go into the next one. And it's I really want you to pick it up and be okay, some of the stuff that you did in the last one keeps going. I get it, the criticals do more damage, you could take that one away, but don't make me have to go through and figure out
don't make it a whole brand new tutorial again about how to play the game. And all the enemies that I could override you're bringing over. Let me still override the ones that I could do in the previous game and only make me not able to do the new ones.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, it looks like Ed agrees. He says he hates that the Arkham games can't carry over your skills to the DLCs.
Exactly. Even though that's a progression of the story, right? So, all right.
My progress.
We talked about video games. Before we get into the Spider-Man, I did want to let you guys know I found a random YouTube video today, and I want everybody that is listening to go check this out. So if you go on YouTube and search for VOT International, which is the fake company that creates superheroes and The Boys, I had just found out that since July they have been placing out a once a month propaganda. Basically version of VOT's version of Fox News and their version of Tucker Carlson propagandaing as they do for the superheroes and out against Huey and the FBI and everybody, right? Intermixed with they have each one has a commercial for a different in-universe company. Except for one of them is actually Jeremy. Hold up your can of water that you had. So the Liquid Death water. They have a Liquid Death commercial starring the Deep talking about sea animals. like, and talking about the, how it's recyclable, and then he's like, "Goodbye, plastic," and he burns all the plastic. He starts,
and,
he's like,
and if you haven't seen The Boys, you need to
You
go watch The
it.
Boys.
Yeah,
It
go
is
watch
a
The Boys, man.
Great series.
And with the
so good.
third season coming out soon
in June.
June
5th. June
So-
5th, they're dropping they're dropping the first 3 episodes at the same time. So
Nice.
I was actually reading that the other day.
And I would recommend watching The Boys first, because this one follows up and kind of helps fill in some of the gaps about what we're going to see in probably those first 3 episodes. My favorite, though, is 100%. So instead of the what is it? Is it My Pillow? Is that the dude that like lost his company and basically everything? Like,
Yeah, Steve Lindell or Mike
Steve
Lindell.
Lindell or whatever.
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell. So in the commercials, they have him, different name, obviously, but the guy looks fat dude with the pedophile mustache, right? On the thing, but it's talking about sheets made in America, and that he's fed up with the sheets coming from dirty third world countries getting shipped to the United States. He's like, get them, but it's he calls it our sheets instead of My Pillow. It's one of the most on the nose parodies that they came out with, but it is so goddamn good.
I'm definitely gonna check this out now.
Yeah, go watch them. They will make you mad because the guy is a complete dick, which is funny, right? Coming from the universe. In the universe that they set, you could tell that this would be a legit television show in that universe. Brings up like certain things. You know, the blind superhero that Homelander like make basically Daredevil that he kills, or doesn't kill. I guess he just makes him deaf too, right? They talk about how he's like, he went on a mission in Argentina and is now missing. Our hopes and prayers go out to him, like fighting the good fight or whatever. So he's like portraying the cover story for what happened to the dude. So yeah, it's good. I recommend, as we go into it, keep looking out. Once a month, they drop them. They hint at some of the superheroes that you might see if you know the comics. They kind of talk about some of the ones. There's apparently going to be reference to like America's Next Top Model, but it's a superhero version of that. And they actually have a hero house where they all live. So should be interesting to see superhero reality TV.
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah. So cool. But let's get down to the real thing. Talking about superheroes. I'm going to segue like a motherfucker here. And
that's a nice segue.
Right?
That's a good segue.
So talking about superheroes, we got to talk Spider-Man. It's been enough weeks. Everybody should have seen it. Spidey. No Way Home.
No way.
We finally get a Sinister Six.
No, we didn't. Oh.
Okay. So first off,
okay,
we're going to go through this, right? So we got Dr. Octopus, right? Lizard, Sandman.
Uh-huh.
Green Goblin, Electro, and Tree.
Oh.
No, actually, though, there was a sixth. There is a sixth. Venom came in. However, Venom just was like, basically went, fuck it. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to the bar and drink.
Peace.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. Venom's like, I'm not going to be a part of this.
Yeah. I mean, he was in San Fran at the time, and when he zips over, he's still in San Fran.
No,
right?
he's in like Spain or Mexico or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, he was in San Fran, and then he went down to, I think, Tijuana. But he was on the West Coast, right? Yeah. We'll just put it that way. So he was away. So I guess he was just like, nah, I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to do that. His version wouldn't be a threat anyway, but the fact that they brought it in to acknowledge it was pretty cool. And it explains the end credit scene from Carnage. Right? Like,
kind of connects the two.
Like, because we even made that thing. It's like, how the hell did he just zip over to this new universe? Right? It doesn't make sense that whatever Venom was doing made him dimensionally
It's because
travel.
he knew Spider-Man, and so like part of the movie is anyone who knows who Spider-Man is.
He tapped into the universal knowledge, figured out who Spider-Man was, because the other Venom knew who Spider-Man was.
Right.
And so he gets brought in, but doesn't give a shit. Right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. Like, that was the fact that they brought in a version of Venom that should have been part of the Sinister Six, but has been basically the good guy version. So it was like, nah. We're just gonna sit and get drunk and talk about the Avengers.
I'm curious what you guys think, like as far as the movie overall, because they do have so many like crossing of past events and just things that are coming in the movie
Make me feel so old.
You really need to know. Well, that's the thing. You really need to know the lore. And the Tobey Maguire stuff came up, what, 20 years ago? So
it's 20 years ago.
If you're a younger person,
I thought that I went to wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
Said,
so, and to that point, so I went with my daughter and my wife. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved this version of Spider-Man and having the 3 different Spider-Men there. I thought that was absolutely great. They, on the other hand, were like, it was cool, but I don't really remember. I don't think my wife was like, I don't even think I watched the Andrew Garfield ones. So, like, his redemption arc, everything that happened in that, she was like, she's like, I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like that great for me. Which I get,
yeah, it's a bold move to have so many deep Easter eggs in that movie, but they're also like saying, okay, if you're this invested into the character and you really have been watching everything that we put out, this is like such a treat for the fans because there's just, even in that interaction with all 3 of them together, there's things that are said and done that you're just like, man, they are hitting on so many like cool, like little tropes, like Toby having his suit under his clothes. He's the only Spider-Man that does it. It's so specific to him. So the fact that they brought that up,
or to me,
or the back thing,
and the fact that his webs are organic.
Yes,
right. And they bring that, they're like,
you
wait,
make your own webs? Like,
you make your own webs?
Like,
how's
work?
Right, and the whole idea that they keep harping back on the fact that they're like, that his webs are the organic webs.
Yeah,
and that it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's just so many cool little things like that. Or when, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saves MJ.
Yeah.
And you see him go through like this whole mental mind fuck of like Gwen Stacy dying the exact same way, and he never really got redemption for that. So this is his way of kind of getting redemption for that in a way.
Just his self-defeating attitude, which is basically the response to the fans not liking the Andrew Garfield movies. It's like, man, I'm just the worst version of I'm just awful.
Yeah.
Like his self-deprecating thing is not about him, but really about his Spider-Man movies in general, which I thought was
just
a funny
the
little
emotion too that he showed at that moment, like I said, with saving like MJ.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just see it going through his head, the whole thing, and you know exactly what he's thinking about. You're
it's
just
like, oh
man,
don't stop her really quickly this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Catch her, make it
don't snap her back.
Don't snap her neck. Yeah.
Yeah. Snap her. You basically cracked her back in half when you did that.
The only thing I thought was weird is they brought Sandman in, right? Who by the end of Spider-Man 3 is basically a good guy, right? Like, I mean, he's not necessarily a bad guy anymore. He kind of figured out like it was the guy he murdered was on accident, right? Uncle Ben. It wasn't a thing that he did on purpose. He wasn't, and he actually regrets it. He's basically a good guy by the end of Spider-Man 3. I rewatched it just to be like, am I missing something here? He goes from good guy back to bad guy in this one real quick.
He does. Like, there's a moment where he's trying to help Spider-Man fight right at the beginning, but then all of a sudden, it's like they don't really even give us a clear motive as to why he's like, yeah, I'm going to be on the bad guy's side too. It just kind of happens.
Honestly, he sees him make Electro, who he doesn't know, disappear. So he's like, you're going to do that to me too? And he's like, well, no. And then he fights him and has it happen, right? But like, No, like, yeah, exactly. Like, he just turns all of a sudden really quickly because they needed it to happen. That was that's my one complaint about the movie.
Ed says, if you look at the comics and the history in the comics, Sandman is notorious for going evil every now and then he was even a member of the Avengers at one point and then turned evil.
Yeah. And I get that he's a bad guy, that he, in the comics, he is flip-flop. But the speed in which he flips to bad guy in this movie from where he was at the end of Spider-Man 3, which is basically the version, like, roughly around that time, post that time, right? Because he recognizes Spider-Man and thinks it's Tobey Maguire and is like, cool, I know who you are. I'll fight on your side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a person who's gone through the redemption arc in Spider-Man 3, shows up to this new world or whatever, and instantly turns bad again. Well, I just think the speed at which he turns doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but they had to make it fit, right?
They needed it to.
And I think the one thing, like, right, I said whenever I hear about some multiple villains in a movie, I always get super, super nervous because, like I said, multiple villains in a movie typically ends up being, it's pulled off super shitty, and it always ruins the movie. I could say basically that this movie balanced out basically all the villains perfectly in regards to basically like, hey, the appropriate amount of screen time. Like, hey, you know what? Sandman, he's kind of a side character. The Lizard's kind of a, more of a side character. Hey, Willem Dafoe's more of a high level actor. So like I said, let's give Green Goblin more screen time. The balance that they had between all of them was perfect.
I really you get it, right? Sandman's just there. Lizard's just kind of there, right?
Well,
but you have
both of them too were recycled footage. Like, so when they were in their human form, it's all recycled footage from old movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's that thing. But then you have people like Electro. I get his motivation, right? Different thing, better high, right? He's shown that he's kind of like an addict almost. He's like, hey, I need more of this. I'm not going to sit in, right? Green Goblin. I mean, first off, it's Willem Dafoe. He gets to be crazy ass Green Goblin again. By all means, let him go, right? Mm-hmm. You got Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, which is absolutely amazing. So, I mean, those three bringing in, I think, were the ones that I was like, all right, that's having those guys really drove, like, I understand these guys and I get why they're going to be continuing on to the side of evil, right? But then you have Doc Ock, who's only evil at the beginning, and they basically fix him. Yeah. And he's a good guy for the rest of the movie. And like they kept it like the entire time he is helping.
Yeah. He's redeemed, right? Like,
he's redeemed. They get to redeem him, and he gets the sun in the palm of his hand. He makes the comment. And he's like, holy shit. Like, my big, huge thing is in this universe, literally a little tiny arc reactor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, like it was a great movie. I also like the fact too that, right, like you had real stakes, like I said, in the movie, right? Like I said, like you had like Aunt May die, right? Like that's like it was great, right? Well, not. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like someone's dying.
It was great.
At the same point in time, like it was, like I said, it basically had real consequences. Like I said, right? I said that were part of it, and it's not like the whole recycled same story that typically happens in a movie, right?
You get the Uncle Ben stakes, right? Because we've never seen Uncle Ben. Like, I haven't even confirmed, was there even an Uncle Ben in this version of Spider-Man?
No,
right? They've never brought it up, so we don't know if maybe that was a thing. Now, they could be like, oh, that's who told Aunt May, because she gave you the correct line, by the way. First time someone's got it correct. But, which you don't know, with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
Yeah.
Not with great power comes great responsibility. Right? Misquote. Or whatever.
Yeah.
She says the right quote, but she really drives home the fact that, like, even though the actions ended up causing her to die, like, it was still the right thing to do. to try to help the people and not just immediately go to punishment, right? It's going to define that Spider-Man character moving forward. And it puts him back with the other Spider-Men of like, yes, I'm a superhero, but I also have to do what's good and what's the right thing to do, even if that's potentially helping a bad guy.
Right.
So I also like the fact too, right? That you have elements listed from the video game that they incorporated, I said, into the movie as well. Like, right? So like Aunt May works for Feast.
Yeah.
Like there's elements from the Spider-Man video game. I said that weren't in any other movie before. That now they're bringing the movie. Well, then even the last suit that Tom Holland makes, right? Like the last Spider-Man is that metallic. It almost looks like the Mark IV spider armor, which is it's that metallic blue
shiny
red,
blue
right?
thing. Yeah, and here's what it is too. I was actually kind of worried with the escalation of like him getting the spider armor, right? Like all the nano gear, everything, that we were going to get this. Where can we go with Spider-Man when he's a member of the Avengers? He has all this like tech to his like at his hands, right? All this Tony Stark stuff that's all there. Where can we go where, post this world where instead now you have a version of Spider-Man that now everyone forgets, like everyone knows Spider-Man's there, but no one knows it's him anymore, right? No one knows that it's Peter Parker. And he goes back to being the neighborhood Spider-Man, right? It's the Spider-Man that we get continuing to be the just everyday hero versus this world-saving character. Yeah. So you get that spider suit.
Yeah, so which is a throwback to the game. Like this is literally the Spider-Man Mark IV armor from the Spider-Man 4 PS4 game.
Yeah. So, and I'll just say, Jeremy, like at the end, we get back to being, he's no longer like Spider-Man the Avenger, right? This is going back. He is back to being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? And he's going to dedicate back to that, which I think is quite great.
Yeah, that's cool. It is really cool. I love that new suit at the end. It's really nice looking. And
do we think
Ed
in the
said
next
something?
one?
I feel bad for anyone that had never seen Daredevil because he had a Charlie Cox moment. You're just like,
I said, first 5 minutes catches the break.
I'm just a really good lawyer.
I'm a good lawyer, and I'm a good lawyer. And if you haven't seen Hawkeye, we also had Kingpin, so we know that at some point, someone's head got removed by a car door. Let's just say that in the MCU, that has now happened at some point.
Well, and then MCU Kingpin is also way more powerful than Daredevil Kingpin.
So okay,
he actually like took some shots.
Yeah. So here's we don't know. Like, I'm hoping they didn't kill him at the end of Hawkeye. Spoilers for Hawkeye.
No, I don't think they did.
Dead.
Well, like I said,
so they have
because
you see the shots, but they established this bulletproof armor. So
so Echo, which is basically the deaf superhero, right? Like I said, if you're familiar with the comics, so that's a play from the comics.
Exactly.
So
it's where Kingpin gets blinded. Right? He's blinded at the end of that run. Yeah. So we might get a blind Kingpin next, or at least we know that run has happened in the comics and something comes out here, right? Yeah, Ed brought it up too. We're same page, Ed, right? Like, so we get that coming up. So we have Kingpin. He's still around. I think they made it a point to show that he has the bulletproof armor and can take, like, arrows are not even piercing it. Which I think is what they said is Echo's probably going to shoot him, and it's going to another series or another thing is going to show that she shoots him like in the chest or something, and he does his little like primal yell thing or whatever he does, and just either demolishes her or she walks away and he gets up and continues on. Yeah. So we're going to see more of Vincent D'Onofrio, who, by the way, I want to petition that for the rest of time that is Kingpin. That dude,
he plays the part really well.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah,
I rewatched it because of Hawkeye and Spider-Man. I rewatched all of Daredevil over the break. It was like, man, it's been a while since I watched this. Let's go back and rewatch a lot of that.
I said they're both great. Like I said, like Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I said Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. They're great. Like same thing too. Like I said, here's the thing. Like I said, all the Netflix casting, with the exception of freaking Iron Fist, right? I said we're perfect for the role. Like John Bernthal as Punisher was great,
phenomenal,
fantastic.
Right?
So good.
Mike Coulter as Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Mike Coulter nailed Luke Cage.
Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, like great,
perfect, right? Great, amazing. So yeah, Iron Fist is just a hard one to cast for, right? Like it's just, I like the character as Iron Fist and Luke Cage, but like the whole mystical thing starts to kind of lose a little bit. But I really want now, because this has always been great, is the comics where you have Daredevil and Spider-Man. And this sets it up that we could have potentially a Daredevil Spider-Man team up in the next movie, which I think would be great, because it's always great to have the super serious Daredevil paired up with the not so serious Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
That we have, and they play very well to each other.
Good band,
and you have a good bad guy. You can have Kingpin. You can bring the Spider Hunters from the animated series in. That he has to bring that in, or you could get something like we already established just Michael Mando. I forget the actor's name. Voss from Far Cry 3 as Scorpion. So you could actually bring him in. That's how he gets the Scorpion suit. Tinker is still alive, right, in this one. Mm-hmm. So you could have him working for Kingpin now and bring out the Scorpion suit and have him with the Spider Killers. And that could be the new thing. And you have to have Daredevil help him because it's Kingpin.
No, like I said, got a quick question for you guys, though. So, rumor has it, right? Because they delayed Morbius again. Rumor has, though, so they delayed Morbius for some reshoots based upon the reactions from Spider-Man. Do you think there's any validation to that? And then also, like I said, are you guys excited to see Morbius? Like the trailer, like I said, it's actually pretty good. Like,
I mean, I don't think it's going to be great if Venom Let There Be Carnage was any response to it.
I mean, I'm not as excited for Morbius as I was for that Venom, which is not a whole lot. I kind of just want to see how it comes out because I'm not sure what to think.
I'm going to see it, but I'm not like super excited. But I really think they're going to throw Andrew Garfield. I think that's going to be the Spider-Man. It's going to be in the Andrew Garfield universe.
I think so, and I think that's what the reshoots are, right? And so
they're bringing.
I think that there's such an outcry to basically bring Andrew Garfield back. Like that's been trending on Twitter for the last, a few weeks since it came out. Like where they want basically, hey, an Amazing Spider-Man 3. I said
this could be the lead-in for it.
This could be the lead-in for it, and I think that. Yeah, I think that there's some validity to that. And so I think that has a definite chance of actually happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where they're going to go, right? Is how can we continue with this other thing that people seem to really respond to? Because unfortunately, Tobey Maguire is just too old, right? He's basically, he's basically at this point Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse, right? He's the old, like, I've been doing this for way too goddamn long. Like, nothing phases me anymore. Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, and if anything, one of my favorite scenes from the Spider-Man is when Andrew Garfield first shows up and MJ and Ned are questioning him, and he's like, they're like, walk on the ceiling or whatever, and he's like, do we really have to do it? Like that whole thing where he jumps on the ceiling. He's like, are you happy? Like I'm like, he's like standing on the ceiling, right? Like that whole interaction of him having to prove that he's Spider-Man, but a different Peter Parker, I think is one of the funniest scenes in that whole movie. Like I love that scene. So I think having him back, like, and I think a lot of people really were like, oh yeah, he did the character really well. It was just the movie sucked, but he wasn't a bad Spider-Man. Like, so it was like good character and good portrayal in a bad movie. Can we get that character in a good movie now? And maybe Morbius isn't the right one, but we can reintroduce him and then make a third.
See, I think that here's the thing. I think that if they drop any footage or if there's any rumors or the people get out so that, hey, Andrew Garfield is in Morbius with some reshoots, that's what's going to drive people to that movie. Like,
yeah.
Where
does Spider-Man show up?
Yeah. Because I think that'll be a huge thing for that movie, and that's what's going to make that movie take off. But yeah, that's my thing. I think they delayed it because I think they're trying to basically get Andrew Garfield.
So, and here's what I think is really the thing, because there's also the rumor that in the Kraven one will be potentially in the Andrew Garfield universe as well.
Well,
and
because
potentially Venom is in, so everything happens in the Andrew Garfield world.
And the thing too is, like I said, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they basically set up the Sinister Six in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, you had the Vulture Wings, right? You had
you had the Vulture Wings, you had like Moreno, you had Green Goblin, you had I think you had was it the Venom? They do the Venom symbiote or
I have to go back there and rewatch when they walk through the thing.
Scenes for Amazing Spider-Man 2 for a long time, but I thought I remember seeing something like that in there.
Yeah, but so they have the idea that like if they start to build this, they can have two, since they own the rights to Spider-Man, they can do two Spider-Men.
It makes sense. And
Andrew Garfield is their own, and let that go, right? And continue Andrew Garfield's story. That's Sony's Spider-Man. Marvel's Spider-Man is Tom Holland, and he does his own stories. And guess what? They've established those two can crisscross, right? Like, so there's an idea between that.
Speaking of ideas, guess what? It's time to wrap up.
It is. So, okay, before we do that, though, and we go into us trying to do what Larry does, I'm going to give, in STS Guys fashion, we got to go through, out of 5, what do you give No Way Home? Nate, I'm starting with you.
I'm probably going to give it like a 4.5 out of 5. I mean, it was almost perfect. It was really good.
Jeremy?
I'm going a solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. See, I'm right there with Nate. 4.5 out of 5. I loved it. There was a lot. If it would have tied in, and again, here's my problem with a lot of the Marvel stuff. They're setting up a lot of things, but we really haven't figured out where they're going, and I really hope it's not Eternals, but that's the way it seems like they're going with potentially the bad guys. Who's the big bad that we're going to? Like, what is this whole new driving force between this next phase?
Right.
They still haven't
announced it. It did feel kind of like a standalone.
And it's a standalone thing that I'm like, let's move this larger thing forward.
I think it's introducing the multiverse theme and like in full form, live action. And now Strange is probably going to reveal kind of how that all ties in. But Jake had a cake. 4.5 out of 5, my friend.
We're always goofy. We do out of 5s. So 4.5 out of 5. That's going to be 9 out of 10. Let's do if we do math that I can actually do. Right?
There you go.
So
cool.
For anyone knows, I actually do math for a living, so hopefully I can do that in my head. All right. So, Jeremy, do you want to give it a shot, or who thinks they can fill in?
Jeremy's going to do it because he's the only one that's actually tried it once.
Let's do this. All right. So, you like us? We're dipshits. We enjoy talking about dumb stuff all the time. Please come join us. If you like what we do, you can go see us at Instagram, Twitter, everything good, STS Guys, except for Facebook at the STS Guys. And that was my attempt at shilling like a villain.
Or honestly, just put STS Guys in Google, and literally everything pops up.
Everything pops up. So there you go. Here.
Show him like a villain. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding.
All right. And as I just found out, as of the last podcast, apparently Animated Apparel Company is gone. But if you like toys, go to shumistore.com. They got that mint box guarantee. Use code STS Guys, save yourself 10%.
10%.
So that's shumistore.com. And then if you want to see other podcasts about random stuff that is different from what we do, but potentially similar, things like the Dan Aykroyd podcast, the Dorksman, a couple other different guys here. Go over to
Rewind podcast.
Toy Rewind podcast. Go over to Cross the Streams Media and check them out because there's a whole bunch of different podcasts, and we're kind of a member of those guys. So Cross the Streams Media, it's the best.
It's the best. Kind of a member of those.
I don't
guys.
remember what Larry says on any of this because I don't pay attention. I just know when I have to hit the button. So, Jeremy, I'm going to rely on you because we have a lot of friends who do podcasts.
I don't have friends. I got family.
And someone's going to have to list them out because I am unable to do so. I am inebriated.
Well, like Talking Pops, so the Pop Collectors Lance podcast, like I said, the Toy Rewind podcast, the Movie Retakes podcast.
3 beers and a mic.
3 beers and a mic. Talking Pops. Like all those cool
fun
people.
guys.
All those fun
And the
guys.
figure booth.
And the figure booth.
Nate, who
Which
doesn't
is-
miss a week.
Who doesn't miss a week? But they did miss a
Actually,
week during Christmas. Like I
We
said,
missed a couple of weeks during Christmas.
Yeah.
but,
Well, it's understandable. So there we go.
understandable. So yeah, so there's that. So
Yeah. And,
Alright,
and
so-
Here's that.
yeah,
Just
no.
what I know Nate
Yeah,
has to
wrap
get
it
out
up,
of here.
Jeremy.
Um,
This
so-
is why we rely on Larry to do all the shilling because we
Yes.
suck at it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
suck.
we're awful.
We're not shillers.
All right, Jeremy,
so for
take us
episode 198 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
I've been Nate.
out. I'm Scott.
Again.
Larry, we can't function
Jesus
without
Christ.
you. Please come back.
Please come back, Larry. Larry, come
Hi,
back.
guys.
Larry, come
Thanks,
back.
everybody in the chat.
Goodbye,
Blame it
everybody.
all on me.
Bye.